Then she asked if I'm trans. I'm not. Hey, what is up, society? It is your favorite wannabe influencer, Koi, and welcome back to another video. You already read that title, so you already know what the heck we're about to get into. So if you're ready to read some Reddit stories, then keep on watching. Let's get right into this video. All right, y'all. You know, Godfather's is on and popping. Let's just get into this very first story. Am I the asshole for telling my mother-in-law she will no longer have access to my child after she shared private information? Oh, baby, we back with the grandparents overstepping again. I, 35 female, have a beautiful, healthy baby girl, 6 months old, who was born at 34 weeks. She was born with an eye condition, causing her to need glasses to see properly. Hey, baby. Hey, us glasses girlies. Okay, she got it. Because of this condition, she sees a vision therapist to help strengthen her eyes. We have only shared this information with my parents and mother-in-law, not because we are ashamed, but because my child's medical needs are no one's business. Period, mama. Problem is, my husband and his brother had a pretty bad falling out. His brother was arrested for domestic violence and left homeless. My husband financially helped him to move to the current state my mother-in-law resides because a protective order was issued. During this time, his girlfriend began to harass me on social media. Girl, y'all got a lot going on. Baby got eye conditions, husband and his brother fighting, he having to move across the dang country. Now his girlfriend is bad talking you on social media. Girl, you got a lot going on. I will continue. It became so bad that I reached out to my mother-in-law for help in stopping it since she was still in contact with her. A few months later, my husband and I were told his brother moved and is back with the girlfriend. Brother contacted us asking for money when my husband and him had a huge argument. My husband told my mother-in-law not to inform him of anything concerning his brother or tell his brother anything about our family. My daughter received her diagnosis at 3 months, and we confided in our parents hoping for support if the prognosis was severe, legally blind. Well, yesterday, I received an anonymous text from an unknown number saying that it is karma that my daughter has eyes going in opposite directions and probably R-word. You a cruel. What the? Are you? Girl. You know what? She was going to have to see about me. I continue that my daughter was born prematurely because my rotten womb? Who is this psycho? Like, girl, you're okay. I called the number and it was the girlfriend. Girl, pack it up because you're doing a little too much. Shaking and livid, my husband and I called my mother-in-law, demanding to know how his brother knew of our daughter's condition. She lied, saying she had no idea. I reminded her that no one but our parents knew, so she had to have told him. She began to cry, and that's when I told her I no longer trust her and she would not have access to my daughter. She then texted my husband and his brother saying I hurt her feelings and is now closing this chapter and staying out of my husband's life because of his bitch. Oh my God, like y'all are all toxic as fuck. What is going on here? What in the fuck? Hold on, y'all. There's an edit. Okay, y'all. There's a little edit, and basically Miss Ma'am says that she says that the girlfriend hates her so much because the girlfriend asked her for money and she never saw the message. And so because the girl felt like she was being ignored, she then doubled down, came back and started mentioning like this lady's like stillborn and her miscarriages and stuff. So like this girl is a lunatic. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and pass up on mother-in-law for a second. What's going on with Looney being girlfriend over here? Because I would have to double up. Because baby, what is you doing? You on some other stuff. Like, what the? She was gonna have to see about me. Cause I would you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that violence is the answer, but I'm not saying that it's not the answer. Swinging over to this mama, everybody toxic. The fact that she called you a bitch. What the heck is going on here? Like, what the heck is going on here? Like, why is you spreading your grandchild's information to people that your child told you not to express anything about them to? Like, what is you doing? No, OP, you are not. The brother needs to be gone, mama needs to be gone, girlfriend gone, everybody gone. Because they toxic, they crazy, something going on with this family. They drinking some type of water, they on some type of something. They on a high that is astronomical. None of us don't even know what they smoking over there. But these motherfuckers be in the loony bin. Now I'm trying not to swear. But what the fuck? Not the asshole. Girl, get a restraining order as a matter of fact. Next freaking story. What in the world? Second story. Am I the asshole for calling out my sister-in-law's spoiled behavior? My husband, 36 male, and myself, 34 female, live in the same apartment complex as his little sister, 35. Okay. We've been together for over 10 years, and though I know his sister is not a bad person, it really bothers me how much he and their parents bend over backwards for this girl, Sarah. There have been plenty of instances over the years, like at family dinners, their mother has to prepare a special plate for Sarah because if any of her food touches, she won't eat it. I've met people like that. And in some cases, there's some things that I don't like that my food touch. Like, you don't want your greens getting on your macaroni. You know what I'm saying? But like, I know people of that. So you gotta get them separated plates. They never get them a lunch tray so they stuff don't touch. But I continue. Her parents are paying half of her rent because she can't keep a roommate. If anyone says anything that might remotely hurt her feelings, she starts to cry. Oh, this girl is spoiled. Continuing. On a long road trip, I was driving with my husband, mother-in-law and sister-in-law in the car, while my father-in-law was driving a camper solo. We decided to pull over at a hotel for the night, and someone needed to call my father-in-law to let him know where to go. I was driving and couldn't call. Husband and mother-in-law were all on 5%. Sarah says, I've only got 20% left. Y'all ain't got no charger ports in this car? Like, okay. I responded with, admittedly, a little bit of tone because I had been driving for hours while everyone else had been on their phones. 20% is plenty to make a phone call. And is. Girl, how long are you going to be on that phone? You're not going to be talking to the man for 45 freaking years. She acting like you're going to be on the phone for 40 days and 40 nights. Continue. She burst into tears. Girl, because I said it. Girl. She burst into tears. Mother-in-law starts screaming. Don't talk to her like that. Even my husband raised his voice at me and said something in her defense. I immediately apologized and blamed the long drive. But I think they all completely overreacted. 20% is plenty to make a quick phone call. And the way they all acted, you thought I had slapped her in the face and called her the C word. Well, yeah, they are overreacting, girl, because he or she, I don't even know. I made up a whole gender. Sorry, y'all. But because they said that that's plenty to make a phone call, girl, it's giving attention whore. Moving on. That drive was a while ago, but it was definitely my first, this isn't really normal behavior moment. I still think about it whenever Sarah plays the victim, which she does a lot of the time. As I mentioned above, we are now living in the same complex as Sarah. Child, I'll move out immediately. She lives a few buildings away, like a 4-minute walk at most. The other night, she texted my husband at 6 p.m. asking if he could bring her some toilet paper. He did it without question, even though there's a Walgreens right down the road. And yes, she does have a car. I didn't say anything. Whatever, it's toilet paper. 2 weeks later, she asked him again, and he runs off to deliver it. I keep quiet. It's his sister. Whatever. Then this past weekend, we pick her up to meet their parents for lunch. Afterwards, we three go to the husband's and mine apartment to play video games and hang out for a while. My husband starts making dinner, and that's when she decides that she wants to go home. And she asks my husband for a ride to the building that would take 4 minutes to walk to. It wasn't dark. Our complex isn't sketchy. I'm a woman, okay, and have always felt completely safe walking through the complex. She's just lazy by nature and incredibly spoiled. My husband, of course, asked me to keep dinner going while he drives her home. When he got back 5 minutes later, I asked him if he felt her asking for a ride right as he was starting to make dinner seemed inconsiderate. He just kind of shrugged and said, "That's Sarah." Am I the asshole for just not getting it? That a woman in her mid-30s, she is 30! This whole time I forgot this woman was 35. That a woman in her mid-30s would behave like a spoiled brat and everyone is just cool with it. I can't believe she cried in the car, which led me to being screamed at. I can't believe she asked her brother to walk over toilet paper in the middle of the day just because she didn't want to go to the store, or ask for a ride so she didn't have to walk the 4 minutes. I bring it up to my husband and his reaction is basically, "You just don't get it," which is so frustrating because I'm the youngest child in my family, just like Sarah. And I've known him and his sister and their family dynamic for over a decade. Like, give me some credit. Then I said he's enabling her spoiled behavior by dropping whatever he's doing to tend to her whims. He got really pissy with me and we had a very quiet dinner. I mean, what I would say, friend, is just mind your business at this point. Just mind your business. Unless she's directly affecting you, just ignore it. Because, like, they obviously have no problem accommodating her every single whim. Like, they don't mind being at her beck and call, being her service providers, her butler, her nurse, her errand boy and girl. They don't mind doing everything for Miss Sarah, okay? They will drop everything. They will give their left and right lung for Miss Sarah, apparently. So you just need to just be like, okay, go ahead, do it. And I would avoid Sarah as much as possible because Miss Ma'am got a few screws loose. And yeah, so I crying over somebody telling you to make a call because your phone is at 20%. Sarah girl. Sarah girl. Bye girl. Moving on. Am I the asshole for being open about my faith? Oh, here we go. Okay, so I've, male 23, have been in a relationship for a couple of years with an amazingly smart woman, female 24. And for the most part, it's been really good. Occasionally, she says I'm a bit emotionally absent, but I'm working on that. Good for you. I'm very content and comfortable with my relationship, except for one thing which has come up recently. A side note, we spend a lot of time just cuddling in silence, which is probably some of our favorite time. For as long as I've known her, she's been very into atheism, which makes sense. She was raised in a quiet, traditionalist Jewish group and has made attempts to distance herself from that, which I've supported her in. I, however, am very quite religious. See? First mistake. There's just some things that you just don't compromise on in a relationship. Spiritual/religious beliefs is definitely one of them. Like having a family or not having a family is number freaking 2. Okay? Like open relationship or closed relationship, that's number 3. Like there's some things that you just should never get into a relationship with anyone else for, especially if you know that you're separate. Like if y'all on opposite sides of the spectrum, you should not be dating that person. You should have knew this was gonna become a problem. Especially if y'all get married and y'all want to have kids. Friend, you're gonna want to raise your kids with a religion and she's not. Come on, like y'all obviously know this is not gonna work. But I digress. I've always been upfront about that and made it very clear to her, though I've never really talked about it to her. So did you be upfront or did you not talk to her about it? What's going on here? I occasionally go to Buddhist temples and Christian churches. Period. Go ahead, broaden your spiritual horizons, friend. Which she's always been a bit uncertain about, but since it's so rare and I never bring it up, it's not an issue. Then she says she wants me to open up more about my faith because she loves me and wants to know me completely, which I thought was really big of her. So I started wearing my cross necklaces and praying openly. She was okay with this until she asked me what my religion actually is. I'm agnostic Christian with a particular focus on Valentinian ideas. Let me look that up. Hold on. Okay, y'all. So Valentinian ideas is basically they believe that instead of Jesus coming from Mary, that Jesus came from a archangel named Sophia. Yeah, I'm not really sure, but yeah. So she's from the fallen Sophia. So Christ was born from the fallen Sophia rather than Mary. Okay, so Jesus just came from a different woman. Got it. She asked what this means. I explained the general beliefs, such as my spiritual being is married to the angel Michael. She got quite confused, angry, I guess, at what I believe. I'm confused too, friend. What does that even mean? First, she asked if I'm actually gay. Okay, friend, look. You said, this is what you said. You said my spiritual being is married to the angel Michael. A, what you're saying is that your spirit is married to a seemingly masculine being while your physical flesh is with a woman. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? We're going to continue. No, I just believe my soul is inherently feminine and married to Michael's masculine spirit. Then she asked if I'm trans. I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing at her, y'all. Like she just really trying to understand. Not if you're spiritually transgender. Oh my gosh, y'all. I'm dying. This is funny as hell. Okay. Once again, no. My physical aspect and material aspect is male, but my soul is separate from that. Then she starts asking if I actually believe in Michael. I say, obviously, I feel him with me every moment and I speak with him frequently. This made things worse. She got irrationally angry, saying that it was stupid and that she felt lied to. I tried to explain that my marriage to Michael doesn't affect anything between us and that my physical and spiritual lives are separate. She begrudgingly accepted that. That's a new word for me, y'all. Let me put this up here, begrudgingly. Now she's making comments about me speaking to myself or trying to deal with my body dysmorphia in a stupid way. Then she asked me how often I'm speaking to Michael, and I truthfully said that it's most of the time. She realized that I was speaking to Michael during our quiet speaking time, which is true, and got angry. She feels as though I'm cheating on her emotionally and said that's why I often seem disconnected. I feel as though I've been absolutely appropriate with my faith and that it doesn't affect us at all, and would really prefer if she stopped making comments about it. I also feel as though I should have the right to be open about it, especially as I've dealt with her radical atheism for years. So am I the asshole? What y'all think the vote on this one is? It's asshole. This is a new spiritual belief for me. This is a new religion for me. I've never heard of Michael. Well, I've heard of the angel Michael, but I've never heard of like Fallen Sophia and different Christ. And this is a whole different thing for me. Okay. Angels don't have genders. In my belief, angels don't have genders. They don't have like sexual desires. They're angels. They're just spiritual beings. So, you being married to or basically eternally connected to this angel, there's no really sexual thing going on there. So, I think that she's probably feeling like you're choosing Michael over her, which depending on if you are more, I guess you can say, involved emotionally with your spiritual connection than with her, I would understand why she would be upset. So with that being said, you can be spiritually connected to Michael. That's fine. You can love Michael. That's fine. Everybody needs their own spiritual connection somewhere. But also she's atheist. So like she probably doesn't really get it, because she doesn't, atheism means that she's a radical atheist too. So she doesn't believe in anything, not a higher power, not a nothing. And considering how she came up, usually in those very intense, religious families, you get a lot of rebellious people because it's just like, it's almost giving cult sometimes in certain religious families. Y'all feel how y'all feel about that. I don't give a damn. So no, I really don't think that you're the asshole for being open about your faith. If that's what you believe, baby, that's what you believe. You're not hurting anyone. You and Michael run off into the sunset, okay? However, you did already say that you're working on being more emotionally available, but maybe consider what your relationship with Michael is like and seeing that part of yourself, and maybe that love and commitment that you show to Michael, maybe you could show a little bit more of that to her so she'll feel a little bit more secure. Yeah. All right, society. That is it for this freaking video, guys. You know, super short one today. But I hope that you guys enjoyed. I surely enjoyed it. Make sure to drop down your comments, thoughts, whatever below because I love to read them. Make sure to like and share. And if you are new, subscribe. Hi, I'm Koi. I would love for you to join my beautiful society and be underneath my lovely reign. I love you guys so, so, so much. Bye.